One of my favorite pages in your book is page 27. And the reason why is that on page 27, you have 3 beautiful images.
Yeah.
And they are MRI scans of people's thighs.
Yes.
Do you want to just talk us through those 3 images? And again, on the YouTube version, I'm going to try and pop that up on screen because I honestly believe that seeing those images will directly motivate someone to change their behavior. I really do. Certainly for me, I'm active, but I'm looking at that going, I need to be more active, right? Because I want a muscle like that when I'm 70.
And that was the intent of this picture series. And when I submitted the paper for publication, one of the reviewers said, the picture's unnecessary. And I said, this picture is so necessary, I will not publish with you unless you publish it. So here it is.
I'm glad you did.
Yes.
Because it wouldn't have had the impact just reading the words.
No, it
wouldn't.
No. So what the picture shows is if you imagine going to the store and buying a ham, like for Christmas, and it has a bone in the middle and the muscles surrounding it, that's what a slice with an MRI through a human thigh looks like. So imagine this round slice with perfect muscles. You can tell that there's gorgeous, lean muscle, like a flank steak, across the top of the bone. Gorgeous, lean muscle in the back, your hamstrings, with very little peripheral fat. You know, the pinchable fat on your leg, very little of it. When I looked under a microscope, the 40-year-old triathlete, and it wasn't just one picture, it was a whole series of people, but there was very little fatty infiltrate, or we call that marbling. You know, very little marbling. So essentially, if you have to summarize that picture, the 40-year-old triathlete was a flank steak, lean. Then in the control group, we had people that had sat around for a variety of reasons for 35 years. Listen, the central picture, you can barely tell their muscle. You lost all your muscle architecture. You lost muscle volume. They're grossly infiltrated with fat. You can see the white streaking.
Yeah.
And there is a thick rind of peripheral fat. I call that a Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
It's like the marbling you see in a Wagyu beef. But that is not the story. The story is the third picture, which is a slice of a 70-year-old triathlete who, if you didn't know better, you would think I just took the next slice in a 40-year-old thigh. Beautiful architecture, gorgeous retention of muscle mass, very little fatty infiltration, and very little peripheral fat. And here's the beautiful thing. When we tested the strength of these people, we did not find a statistically significant decrease in strength until mid-60s. So what this tells us, this study was trying to answer the question, can we retain our lean muscle mass with recreational type exercise across the lifespan? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it's remarkable that you cannot, at first glance, tell any difference between the MRI of the 40-year-old triathlete and the 70-year-old triathlete. And it goes back to what you said at the start, right? What the bit I quoted to you. What we call normal aging is actually normal aging for stressed out, undernourished people who are not intentionally building muscle. This shows very clearly that if you stay active, right, and you prioritize movement in your life, you can have very similar muscle architecture in your 70s as you can in your 40s.
Yes.
It is
Stunning.
so inspiring to see that.
Yeah.
And it's also actually at the same time, on one hand, it's inspiring. And on the other hand, it's depressing. It's depressing how many people have that middle image. How many people in their 70s have lived a sedentary life and have got this horrible muscle architecture. And here's the reality. People think that that just affects their muscles. No, that affects every single system in your body. It even affects, as you all know, your cognition.
Yes. This person in the center that I've described has osteosarcopenic. Let's break that down. A person who has a lot of fat surrounding all their muscle is obese by definition. A person who has lost their functional muscle, they have low muscle mass, They have lost a lot of their good function. That is sarcopenia, which kills people. Plus, if you look at the bone, the study was not looking at bone, but the bone in this picture is very brittle looking. It has a very thin cortex. That's osteoporosis. You can have each one of these in isolation, but what I find by taking x-rays of hundreds of people's legs a month is that people present with obesity plus low muscle mass plus low bone density, and it's not 1 + 1 + 1. It's 1 + 1 + 1 equals I'm making this up, but 1 million because of the crosstalk between organs.